from each district, the districts are, I think there are 130 something now. So that's how you get that big number of women. Then we have the seats for workers, factory workers. We have delegates for youth, and so on. So this concept of representative government, the British brought it to us, and we liked it and expanded it. Separation of powers, mutually beneficial economic interactions, trading together. So therefore, although we resisted the nonsense of imperialism, which we think is a backward practice, satanic, St. Paul calls it pagan. When we defeated colonialism, we said no, but some good things have come from these people. Let's keep them and let's stay together now as equal people, no longer as colonized and colonizer, but as brothers and sisters. This is how the Commonwealth comes. Hence, the Commonwealth. What was problematic could be converted into something beneficial. In the United Kingdom, right now and for some time, there is an active branch of my tribe comprised of our former British teachers and their offsprings. I have my sub-tribe in UK. When I go there, I meet them. They are organized. The current chairperson of our branch is one of the daughters of our teacher, Mwalimu Sullivan, that was teaching us economics. The members of my tribal branch include Mr. Rema, our chemistry teacher, who taught so many of the present medical doctors that we have in Uganda, because many of the medical doctors study chemistry, and this Mr. Rema taught many of them who went through that area. Another member of our branch in the UK is Mr. Reeves, who was our organizer when I was an actor of modest fame in the play of The Murder in the Cathedral by Robert Bolt. So I was some sort of actor also. Those interactions between the colonizer and the colonized, although negative for most of the time, had also their positive sides that should be built on for mutual benefit. The problem, however, is the persistent philosophical, ideological, strategic shallowness and chauvinism of so many actors. This philosophical, ideological, and strategic shallowness ignores the progress of the human race in taming the natural phenomena that harm man and life, and taming nature to improve the quality of human livelihood. The invention of fire 1.5 million years ago, the invention of iron, the invention of agriculture for crops and then for livestock, the steam engine, electricity, the railway, the automobiles, the aircraft, automation of factories, vaccines, AI and artificial intelligence, etc., have shown that the quality of life of man can be improved greatly and exponentially by those human innovations, irrespective of the social systems they live under. Instead of using this human progress for the benefit of all, some actors, out of greed and philosophical, ideological, and strategic shallowness, miscalculate and seek to monopolize knowledge and also use knowledge to oppress others. Example, the iron tools were used for oppression. The gunpowder, the aircraft, the nuclear weapons, the rockets, etc., were used for the same. The greed is a miscalculation. Because if you try to use knowledge to oppress others, they also strive to acquire knowledge to catch up with you and defeat you. It's such a waste of time. Why do you want to oppress me? Because I will counter-organize. This is why empires collapsed, all of them without exception. There's no empire which has ever survived. You can recount all of them because they are essentially evil. Empires are evil. When Huntington Speke came here in 1862, Africans in this area did not know much about gunpowder. When Huntington Speke here, we didn't know about gunpowder. He's the one who came with gunpowder. Indeed, by 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized because of gunpowder, except for Ethiopia. By 1994, the last European-controlled country in Africa, South Africa, had been liberated by the gunpowder of the Africans. So Africans are now to acquire gunpowder to chase the invaders. And the last one to be chased were the whites, the white domination in South Africa, 1994. A whole century had been wasted on account of promoting parasitism instead of symbiosis. A whole century from 1860s to 1994, fighting. In the last 64 years, ever since 1960, our movement, initiated by students, has been advocating for symbiosis instead of parasitism for actors within Uganda and outside. Let us concentrate on utilizing the progress of man in the struggle against oppression of man by nature, rather than using that progress in science and technology for parasitism. Let us expunge all ideas of chauvinism of identity, religion, tribes, race, class, social class. If you think you are right, no, what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. This is one of the English proverbs. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. What is good for you is good for everybody. If you want freedom, if you value freedom, then you should value the freedom of everybody. If you value independence, if you value dignity, then you must respect the dignity of everybody. Stop manipulations and lectures to the societies that are different from yours. If you think you are right, influence people by example. If you think you are right, influence people by example. In the book of Matthew, you know here we take Christians a bit seriously. So we believe in in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16, it says, "Let your light so shine before men that they see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." That's what it says. It doesn't say lecture people, do that. No, you do good things. Then the people will see that what you believe is good, and they will copy you voluntarily. With this posture, the world will be peaceful and the progress will be rapid. The Pope failed to maintain Catholicism over Europe by force, in spite of the wasteful 30 Years' War and the Spanish Armada of 1588. You know, when Henry VIII of UK wanted to marry another woman, and then the Pope tried to dictate, and then there was a split. Then instead of saying, okay, if you want to leave Catholicism, you are free, the Pope tried to impose Catholicism, to maintain dominance of Catholicism in Europe by force. What was the result? 30 Years' War. The Spanish Armada. And he failed. He couldn't. He failed. Metternich of Austria-Hungary failed to stop the rise of capitalism and bourgeois ideology that had been started by the French Revolution in 1789. This man, Metternich, was a feudalist. So he saw the French Revolution as a threat. Then he thought he would stop it by war. And what was the result? Big problems for Europe. The Napoleonic Wars. The 14 intervention powers in Russia, when Russians took over, Russia was taken over by communists. Some countries wanted to stop communism by force, and they intervened. The 14 intervention powers in Russia failed to stop the spread of communism. Why fight ideas? They are beneficial. Adam Smith helped us by clarifying the ideas of the free market in his book, The Source of the Wealth of Nations of 1776, exposing the mistakes of the physiocrats and the bullionists. The former believed that agriculture is the only source of value, and the latter believed gold was the source of wealth. And Adam Smith helped the world greatly, and Europe in particular. Although the ideas of Adam Smith helped the free market by clarifying the role of specialization, division of labor, free enterprise and exchange, they had not, and maybe could not have done so, foreseen the limitation of their ideology when it came to aggregate demand and the role to be played by the state. That is how Maynard Keynes comes in after the capitalist crash of 1929. Yet Karl Marx had pointed out the importance of central planning. Some years before, in his manifesto of 1848. All these ideas about society, especially wealth creation, add something, although they may overlook something else. We, the calm and greedy and development-minded people, have benefited from all these different and sometimes contradictory ideas. That is how into a positive one. I commend this approach to the Commonwealth, and it is my honor to declare what? Opened? To declare opened the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.